because you got to take care of yourself, because if you can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of your kids or your business, especially as an executive, and make that time and just put yourself together during the day and make it effortless, that it's almost like a in a sad day. And especially if you're living in rainy season, please wear color.
Yes, absolutely.
We want to talk about, like, you know, a lot of women do gain weight as we get older, and it's a natural thing, as do. What are your tips on like hiding it?
Okay.
That's kind of situation.
Okay. So I'm going to talk twofold about, you know, talking about hiding, dressing for your body type, but also about accepting your body and confidence. Yeah. Okay. So of course, so in general, you can look at your body, and typically we know what we like about our bodies. So I can say ankle or whatever, but some women, even though they're heavier, they may like their waist because they, you know, right below their breast area, it comes in, and they know that their waist is pretty small. So you can actually, even though you feel heavy overall, you can actually know that your waist has always been your best asset. So to wear like an empire waist dress, to belt that right there is really attractive. And if you feel like your hips are just, you know, if it's just, you feel like it's too big, you can always wear like a longer sweater to camouflage that area a little bit, but then play up the parts that you like. So that's, you know, if you have a figure where you're like more shaped like this, and you're belting around the waist, and then you're just camouflaging with a light jacket, right? A unconstructed jacket, like a long sweater, thin sweater, or a blazer, a soft blazer, that is a look for you. If you have great, let's say, you know, you have gained some weight. So this is typically my issue. So if I gain weight, I gain it through the middle. So then I'm going to play off my legs. So then I'll wear like black, you know, darker colors in the middle, and then I'll wear a skirt, and I'll wear a jacket. So it plays off of my best features. So it's more about dressing the parts that you love, right? Yeah. And minimizing the stuff that you don't love yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Totally true.
So, you know, typically women are shaped like, you know, I don't necessarily like these terms, but it makes sense in the way of visuals, you know, apple shape, where you're kind of, you know, fuller through the middle and you have skinnier legs, or your pear shape where you're like this, right? And so I kind of described the two scenarios about, so if you're more apple shaped, and you can wear darker colors of camouflage, you know, longer jackets through the middle and play up your legs, because typically your legs would be more slender. But it's really important for you to know, as far as, you know, dating is for, you have to learn to love your body where it is. You have to feel confident and love it. You have to, because it transcends into your confidence when you're dating. And so let's get real. We know women that are bigger women, okay, that are super confident in their bodies, right? They're like, oh, you know, they're just walking around like rocking it, you know, and just feeling very sexy. And men think that's sexy because men think confidence is sexy. Like, we are so hard on ourselves. Yeah. And really what it's all about is loving ourselves and feeling confident about ourselves. So that's your goal, is to feel confident and loving yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. It's totally true. Like how I was sharing earlier about my story about my hormones were all over the place and I gained weight, and how you were saying there's many ways of hiding it, but at the end of the day, I had to love myself, right? Even though I was a pear shape and I looked even more heavier on videos and in camera, and it shows as well, but I learned how to dress accordingly. Yeah. Like, for example, A-line skirts, just to cover it up. There's so many ways that I actually was able to get lots of rouging around the tummy area, and I think you've seen those type of dresses on department stores, and I just went out and bought those just for a temporary thing as I work through the issue what I might had,
Right.
but don't ever feel like even it's you're getting older or you're going through health problems and those few weights, you just have to really think about it and be present. It's like, this is not always permanent if I do something about it. When you don't do something about it, that's when it really, really hurt you at the end of the day. Procrastinating, it's like, oh, one day I will work on it or tomorrow I'll work on it. No, what about today? Why don't we work on about it today? How do we help you in that area? And I know there's Spanx out there and some women are against it. Some women are totally okay with it. It just
Hmm.
helps you cover up certain spots as well, just the gaining weight. But if you are in that area, so gaining weight, I notice a lot in women, maybe Lana, you can touch base on it. They
Yeah.
actually slouch
Yeah.
quite a bit. They look a lot smaller when they sit down. It's just like they look like they're in a shell. I don't know if that transparency is the same as you, but that's what I have noticed in my client. Even though they're executive, they're all very successful, but they really can't really showcase their body without feeling they need to cover up to like to the next level.
Yeah. So are you talking about like posture? Or are you talking
Yeah, their
about?
posture, as like a lot of women who are just practically feel really sad about their
Yeah.
weight or issue, you can see that they're actually slouching forward a little bit more, and
Yeah.
it really
Yeah. So
shows off the
demeanor.
confidence.
Yes, so it really comes across in your demeanor. This brings back to the point of loving yourself and really being focused on that, and the rest will come,
Yeah,
right? And yes, I see that. And so it absolutely, this is why we talked at the beginning of this video about it all, your psyche being all tied together,
yeah,
right? Is you're going to look on the outside how you feel on the inside. It's
yeah,
going to come out. And so being aware and working on your self-love is super important because it's going to like emanate through your whole life, professionally, in your relationships. And you really need to do the effort in there to get through the divorce and to even feel good about yourself, to get yourself out dating again. Because how are you going to attract someone? You want to attract somebody who has this good energy, that feels good about themselves, that's confident, but you have to be that match,
yeah,
right?
yeah. That's totally true. I know that you're an image consultant and you work much on the inner game mindset with your
Yeah.
clients and the outer image. What's your philosophy of dressing to attract?
Okay. So one of the things that I talk about is, I'll briefly tell you a story that I had happen to me when I was a little girl. So my mom, who has since passed away, she went through 3 abusive marriages. Okay. And so I watched her through divorces. I watched how she was abused, and every day she'd come out, I was a little kid, and it was myself and my little sisters. I'd watch her come out. I knew she'd been abused the night before. She'd come out of the bedroom fully dressed and have her makeup on. And, she loved dressing up. She dressed us all up too, so that we all grew up liking clothes. And then she would answer the phone, or who would give her come to the door. She would be like this. She'd do 180 degrees and just be so friendly and smiley. And I thought, oh my gosh, why is she putting on this act? It really bothered me for a long time that she was not being authentic, right?
Mm,
Well, it wasn't until, it affected me so much, it became part of my core value of authenticity. I didn't know about it. We didn't know what was going on until years later after she had died, that she died of cancer, by the way. But I realized many years later that what she was doing is showing up for herself. That no matter what she was going through in her life that she couldn't handle at the time, this is the only way she could show up for herself, is to get up, get dressed, and just show up. And that's how she survived.
yeah,
And now I have such a great respect for her for doing that, because literally, what is your other option, right? It's just to slouch and curl up in the corner and cry and not deal. You're the only one you can really count on.
yeah,
This is part of why I became an image consultant to begin with, because I know how important it is to show up for yourself, for your confidence, and to attract what you want in your life. That all starts with you.
yeah. Thank you so much for sharing that touching story. I'm sorry about your mom's loss, and it sounds like she had to get through how to feel good to do good. Women
Yes.
out there, I'm telling you, you have to feel good to do good. Otherwise, if you're trying to do good to feel good, it's not going to work out for you. And overdoing is you're creating more testosterone in your bloodstream, and when you do that, you lose a lot of potential of your lifespan. And like how Lanny mom really survived her way through, she learned how to feel good to do good and really push through to her last moments. And so important to take care of your feeling, and no matter what happens out there, at the end of the day, it's you standing your own feet, and you need to learn how to take care of yourself and reach out for help. Don't ever feel ashamed, either with me or with Lanny. I know that Lanny is in Portland, and she works with clients long distance, and she does
Yes.
that as well. Maybe you can tell how they can get a hold of you.
Sure. So you can email me, and my email will be, I think, in the thread. Is that right, Cindy?
Yes.
We can put
Yeah.
in the thread. So
Yeah.
Lonnie at backstageWithLonnie.com. If you would like to have a free discovery session with me, there is a qualifying form you fill out. I work because I only offer limited amounts of free discovery sessions. I have you pre-qualify. If you qualify for a free session with me, I'll contact you. We'll set up a 1 hour free discovery session. And we'll
Perfect.
figure out where you're stuck. Maybe I can give you information and help you get unstuck.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Lanny, for giving us such empowering information out there that a lot of women out there are could potentially help and save their life in any way. I want to summarize
Yes.
everything that we have talked about today. And that's really key. The key point was you got to feel good to do good. And maybe wearing black might be too harsh on your feelings per day. Maybe work out some colors.
Yes.
If you have weight issue, instead of saying, well, I'll put it off, I'm just waiting to lose another 15 pounds, how about start with an action? How about I work on myself today, not
Yes.
tomorrow, not yesterday, or maybe in there. Start today. It doesn't matter if you want to lose that weight, 25-pound, maybe tomorrow. It doesn't work that way. You have to start somewhere in the foundation,
Yes.
whereas your confidence grow. And it's all about how Lanny was saying, it's all about your inner game mindset. And in order to focus on that, it actually reflects on your external world. And when you do those things, focus on you and centering yourself. And that could be just as simple as like what we were saying before. Maybe just go get a tan here and there, and that's totally fine. Or get a facial, or start with a hairstyle, and just keep it up to date and just treat yourself. All we're just trying to say is treat yourself and don't feel guilty, because even if you're going through a divorce or might not, or trying to date again, or trying to just keep up, I always recommend just keeping up throughout your process, because you got to take care of yourself. Because if you can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of your kids or your business, especially if as an executive. And make that time and just put yourself together during the day, and make it effortless, that it's almost like a normal routine that you can keep it up. And maybe having short hair is totally fine, is a new look for you, or doing the ombre look, how we're talking about the
Yes.
silver hair, and that's totally fine. Just remember, if you are wanting to track the opposite sex, we're not trying to tell you how to run your life. We're just enhancing it a little bit there to the next level, so that the next man that you are in love with, you have a better approach of where your A game is and turning that A game on. And at the end of the day, you got to love yourself, regardless if the man loves you or not. It's all about taking care of you and centering yourself. So you got to feel good to do good. If you're trying to do good to feel good, it's not going to work out for you, just because you're in a biology of a female's body. And communicating that, and don't worry about being perfect, because there's no such thing as perfect. It's just we're nitpicking ourselves, and we got to start somewhere. And maybe this is an opportunity for your wake up call to get it all done today instead of tomorrow. So Lanny, I want to
Mm.
thank you so much for coming on my show and just empowering us with so much wisdom and knowledge and confidence and go out there and date and like how we were talking about men fall in love with their eyes first, and I think our image needs definitely is there, but it's also our
Yes.
inner game.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Cindy. I just wanted to say one more last thing. If you take nothing away from today, take away the point that you need to love yourself more. If one action step for you that you could do right now is write a letter from your future self to where you are right now, let's say 10 years down the road, and putting yourself in your future self, what would you be saying to yourself right now? I want you to write that down and think about that, what you should be doing right now.
Yeah, and we love to see some of these letters if you're confident enough to share them, because again, you're not alone in this. So,
Yes.
Lanny, thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you.
on, and totally appreciate that. And I'll link all her information in the description.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Cindy.
So if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please go ahead, subscribe, and like the video, because it helps out between me and Lanny and more information that we can help you. And don't forget to hit the bell button, because you get new notification when you get new videos actually posted. So everyone, I'm checking out. Cindy B. King and Lanny here. Thank you. Have a great day.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone. Thank you.
If you found this video helpful, please share it with your friends, because sharing is caring. If you want my help in your relationship or dating situation, you can always book a time with me. Check out the link below. To stay in touch, subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to hit the bell button so you can be notified when I post new videos. Please go ahead, hit the like button, because it encourages me to create more contents like this every week for you. If you have an ideas for a video, please leave it in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.